the Art and Hustle podcast, a gallery of conversations, a space where you can hear all the amazing stories and life lessons of my guests. I'm your host, Linda Chung, fashion designer turned multimedia artist, and I want to give you a space to tell your story.
All right. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing very good. How are you?
Not bad. Very, very, very busy. But that's very, very, very good.
Yeah, very good. So why don't you introduce yourself and what you're doing right now?
Well, my name is Drew. I'm CEO and head artist at Liquid Designs. I also have a Liquid School of Epoxy here in Atlanta, which is doing well. I do epoxy flooring, countertops, wall art, and you name it. You know, it can be done. So all things epoxy we do, and we train on it too.
That's amazing. And when did you start this? Because we met a couple of years ago, right? When you did my kitchen and my bathroom counter.
Yeah, it was maybe 2-3 years ago. I'm not sure, but
yeah, it was a little while ago.
You were probably one of my first clients. And and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm your day one. I'll be right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Never forget. So yeah, I started my business.
Mm-hmm.
I think in 2019, maybe 2018, 19. And I just decided to do something that was different. And I never really considered myself an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was something that I was really, really fascinated by. So
yeah, and how did you come across it?
Well, I was looking for an option for my own home. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking to do something unique in my own home. So
yeah.
I came across a guy by the name of Derwin, who most of you know as DSD.
Oh yes, okay.
And I hired him to come do some work for me.
Okay.
He came and did some work in my house, and we kept in contact.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to take his first class that he did, the retreat. And initially, it was just for me to do something different in my in my homes that I was flipping, because I was getting into real estate and I wanted to have something signature about the homes that I was buying and selling. So that was the intent.
Mm-hmm.
But it just morphed into something totally different once I learned it, and people began to see it.
Yeah.
It just became something that became a business. Hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? I'm like, hey, why not? And I had already invested in all of the equipment to do it for myself. So I'm like, well, let me go make this money back.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's amazing. I mean, I came across DSDs and I was following his the stuff that he was doing. I was like, oh, this is dope. And then I started connecting the dots of other people that he was teaching, and I came across your page and I was like, oh, well, he looks like he's starting out, and I need something different that was cost efficient, because I was redoing my kitchen too, and I was doing everything myself. I painted my cabinets and all that. So I saw your page and I was like, I know you're new, but hey, I believe in you. I think you can do it. So I was like, let's try it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we kept in contact as well after that, and I kept an eye on what you were doing with the Art and Hustle thing, and it was dope. It was amazing. But I was never close enough to actually, get into one of the showcases or art shows that you were doing. I was in Pennsylvania, and I don't know if you know, now I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, so did you move to Atlanta?
I moved everything down to Atlanta. My business is just, I'm in Atlanta. I mean, I travel to New York for signature projects.
Yeah.
I'll travel anywhere for signature projects. But my business is now, centralized and located in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh wow! What part of Atlanta?
Atlanta. Atlanta. But I'm outside of Atlanta. I'm in Forest Park.
Okay.
I'm in Forest Park. That's where my school is. That's where our home base is. We have a warehouse there.
Yeah.
So that's where everything is, in Forest Park, which is a few minutes from Hartsfield Jackson Airport.
Okay.
So it's really cool.
Congratulations on that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So do you feel like that this has become like something that you've tapped into, like as part of your art now, like a passion of yours?
Well, definitely. Initially, when I first learned it, it became a passion because, I saw the things that you can do with it, and it was really easy for me to understand how to, manipulate the liquid, manipulate the liquid to, create these really cool designs. So, it was chemistry to me. It was more chemistry to me than it was art, and then it became art because I understood the chemistry of it.
Yeah.
So it was something that I grasped.
Yeah, there's a science behind it.
Right. And I guess that makes sense now because I was more of a science guy than an art guy.
Oh, and there you go.
That really got me to appreciate the art part of it. So now I'm an artist.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, like, everything to me is art. Like, there's art of everything. So,
yeah.
I mean, like, I always love science too. So science and art, all of that's like interesting and like correlates to each other.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like, you mix these two things together and then it starts to cure and then you introduce this and then it does this. And it was like really, really cool. And honestly, it's so new.
Yeah.
That the possibilities are really endless. We're just now tapping into the possibilities of what epoxy can be and what it can do. It's it's a double digit, like $1 million industry, $20 million industry right now, but being compared to, hardwood and tile, which are both $1 billion industries.
Yeah.
So, that alone says that there's huge opportunity for growth and innovation.
Yeah.
So that excites me because I want those billions.
I mean, you're going to get there. Now, were you doing something else? Like, what was your 9 to 5 before you started doing this?
Man, I was a CEO for a company called Acadia. A regional CEO. Acadia is they're a fairly large healthcare organization. They buy hospitals, behavioral health programs, mental health programs, and they make them better. They invest in them, they build them up, and so I was running programs for them, which was cool, but I didn't love it. I didn't love it. The money was good, the opportunity was there for growth, but not the growth that I had not the growth that I had in mind. To me, I got a taste of independence and entrepreneurship through, real estate. So that's what I kind of got into first.
Okay.
And that for me was like, it opened up a whole new, a realm of opportunities because it was like, okay, working here, here's my ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Working for myself,
there's no ceiling.
There is no ceiling.
It's like unlimited.
Right. So there was really no ceiling. It was just your output was directly related to your input. So and me, I go all in. So I was inputting a lot. So I was expecting to see a whole lot of results, and that's what I work towards.
Yeah. That's amazing. Now, growing up, did you have any specific like mentors or influencers who like made you who you are of like hustling this hard?
Yeah. Yeah. My dad was a really influential factor for me. He was a hustler, a very well-known hustler, like in the literal sense of the word. He went by the name of Gary Gator when he was in the streets, and he ran with the Nicky Bonzes. God Fisher is my uncle. He's home now, thank God. And those were my influences. The names that these big rappers rap about. I grew up, with them. I grew up under them. I grew up under them, and they were really, really influential. And Bonza, I can't forget Von Zip. He's a Harlem legend.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Bone. He's a cousin of mine. He's another really, really influential person in my life that I look to for business advice. And the list goes on. There's a lot of people who I can, accredit to imparting, really, really great things in me, which I can really say help me in my drive and to become successful. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm well on my way. I believe that. And I know what the future holds.
Yeah. Now, did you have any like specific obstacles that you went through and like what got you through that as you were going through this process?
Well, going through this process, yeah, hell yeah. There was a ton of obstacles.
And what helped you push through it?
Well, I'm a survivor. As a kid, I was when I was 11, I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was almost a death sentence for me.
Wow.
So overcoming that, everything else, it just seemed so insignificant.
Yeah.
So I was able to take setbacks and losses and not let them break me.
Yeah.
Because I when I got into it, to be honest, I didn't know fully what I was doing. It was something that I was really learning as I was going. Now, mind you, I took the proper steps to get the knowledge that I was supposed to have. I paid for trainings. I went out there and practiced on my own stuff. But there was just certain information that I just wasn't given, or just certain things that I needed to know that you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Until you encounter those issues and you figure it out. Oh, I needed to know this, so just going out there and, just going head first, I encountered a lot of obstacles. I lost a lot of money, going into business and, it almost bankrupted me, to be honest. Absolutely. So, just the perseverance to overcome all of that. It took perseverance to overcome all of that. And, it just took dedication and just putting your head down and say, what, I'm not going to let this break me, and, it just took people, to continually say, I believe in you, you know?
Yeah.
Which goes a long way.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like, this is why I'm also doing this Art and Hustle podcast, because since I can't really do the shows as much as before with the pandemic, I figured there's such like a huge people, on Instagram and from my shows that have gone through so much, and like any advice that they can give to like somebody younger, who's starting out, like this can help somebody, So like, I'm always asking everybody, like, any advice that you would give to somebody that's like,
I have a ton. I have a ton of advice, and that was really my main motivation for starting the school. Because honestly, I try not to talk negative about anyone or anybody's business, but to me, there was a whole lot more that I needed to know. Prior to going out there and going to work for myself and working on other people's stuff, and I didn't get that. I didn't.
So that's why you're starting the school, so you make sure that you can teach all the people the things that you needed to know.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I really, really am passionate about, because a lot of people, there's so much room for opportunity in this industry. There's so many people who want to get into it, and they're just like me, they're just like me. Only they can't afford the losses that I took. Some of those losses might be more detrimental to someone else who really is relying on this to go feed their family. So to me, it was important. It was important to me, because if you take the initiative to go pay for training, then you're doing everything that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So in my book, I want you to leave that training and be ready. You know what I'm saying? And not have to second guess, oh, was I taught this? Was I not taught this? So I've based my training on my advice to my younger self. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly the question I ask people. Like, what's your advice to give to your younger self? You know, so this is perfect.
Yeah, well, go get trained, get a mentor. You know, you don't have to come to my training, but choose the right one. Make sure that they're in it for the right reasons. And it's not smoke and mirrors. You know, it's not smoke and mirrors. Make sure you're not going just for the hype. You know, do your research, you know, understand what you're paying for and get everything that you're supposed to get. Get a mentor, you know, who can help you through, and that's going to make themselves available to you, you know, through those times when you encounter trouble. Because that's important, you know, it's important.
Now, when did you start the school? This year?
Yeah, this year. I think my first class was either July or I don't know. Everything's just moving so quickly. But it was definitely this year, a couple of months ago. Was our first class. We've been doing them every month. And you know, turnout's been great. You know, it's starting off slow. But it's consistent. You know, the people are definitely interested. The demand is definitely there. And, you know, it's just the skepticism based on, you know, prior experiences. Well, I paid for this before and I didn't get this. I went through this before and I didn't get. So, you know, the satisfaction for me when people actually say, okay, I'm going to trust you. And they actually trust me. They give me their money. They come. They actually get what they were expecting and more. You know, that for me is gratitude enough. You know, it means a lot to me, you know, and to be honest, you know, I'm not in it for the money, the school portion, you know, the school portion of I'm, you know, if I could tell you how many people who I've given discounts to who couldn't afford to come, you know, I've given a lot of discounts to people who just didn't have the money to come. But I can tell they had a desire to learn. That's, you know, that's more important for me because honestly, if they didn't come take my class, they was going to go out there and just do it, you know, and to me, that's bad.
They're going to lose a lot of money too, like you did, right?
Well, yeah, but it's also bad for the industry. You know, it's bad for the industry because it puts.
I think I saw something on your Instagram where someone just did a horrible job.
Right? They gotta live with that.
Weird colors.
Yeah, they have to live with that, and you know, it's just, you know, I try to. They gotta live with that. That customer has to live with that result in their home. So to me, practice first. You know, before you take on customers, and you know, make sure your customers know exactly where you are, you know, in terms of your journey. Don't put on like you're, you know, like you've been doing it forever when, you know that you haven't and you may not be ready. And I took on projects early that I just wasn't ready for, you know. I was not ready for large projects that I needed help with that I just thought I could take on by myself. You know, you have to be transparent in your journey. Especially to your customers so that they can make an informed decision as to whether they're going to choose you or not.
Well, that's amazing. Now, what's your Instagram handle so we can tell everybody so they can follow you?
My Instagram handle is Liquid Designs, one word. And the school Instagram is Liquid School. Okay.
All right. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really happy that you joined me and much success to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Much success to you too. Good luck to Art and Hustle, and shout out to Art and Hustle. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Take care.